The rain had been falling since late afternoon, the kind that soaked straight through shoes and made the city feel smaller, lonelier. Emma pulled her thin cardigan tighter as she hurried down the cracked sidewalk toward her apartment building. Her shift at the marketing firm had ended late again, another unpaid overtime evening that no one even acknowledged. She was tired, hungry, and counting the days until rent was due with the kind of anxiety that sat heavy in her chest. As she reached the corner, she noticed them. A man stood under the broken awning of the closed grocery store, holding a little girl close to his side. He looked exhausted, hair damp from the rain, jacket clearly too light for the weather. The girl, no older than 6, clutched a pink backpack and leaned against him, her small face pale with cold. Emma slowed her steps without meaning to. She told herself to keep walking. This city was full of sad stories and she couldn't save everyone. But the little girl looked up just then, eyes wide and tired, and something in Emma's chest tightened painfully. "Daddy," the girl whispered not softly enough, "I'm cold." The man bent down instantly. "I know, sweetheart, just a little longer, okay? We'll figure something out." Emma stopped. "Excuse me," she said before she could overthink it. Are you okay?" The man looked up, clearly startled. His eyes were sharp but weary, the eyes of someone who carried too much responsibility. "We're fine," he replied quickly, instinctively protective, "just waiting for the rain to ease." Emma glanced around. It was past 9. The rain wasn't easing anytime soon. "You don't look fine," she said gently. "Is there somewhere you're staying?" He hesitated. "We were supposed to," he admitted, "but plans changed." The little girl sniffed, her fingers tightening in his coat. Emma swallowed. Her apartment was small, one bedroom, barely enough space for herself, but it was warm, dry, safe. "I don't have much space," she said carefully, "but you could stay at my place tonight, just one night, at least until the rain stops." The man stared at her as if she'd spoken another language. That's very kind, but we can't impose." "You wouldn't be," Emma replied. "Honestly, I'd rather know you're somewhere warm." The girl's eyes lit up with cautious hope. "Really?" Emma smiled at her. "Really?" After another long moment, the man nodded. "One night," he said. "Thank you, I'm Daniel. This is my daughter, Lily." "I'm Emma." The walk to her apartment was quiet but not uncomfortable. Lily skipped through puddles, her mood lifting with every step, while Daniel stayed close, clearly still unsure if this kindness was real. Inside, Emma offered them towels, made instant soup, and pulled out the extra blanket she kept folded on the couch. Lily curled up almost immediately, her exhaustion finally catching up with her. "I'm sorry," Daniel said quietly as Emma dimmed the lights. "I don't usually put my daughter in situations like this." "You didn't," Emma replied. "Life did." He studied her for a moment, as if memorizing her face. "Thank you," he said again, and this time it carried more weight. Emma smiled, unaware that this one small act of kindness was about to change everything she thought she knew about her life, and his. Emma woke early the next morning to the smell of coffee. For a moment she panicked, forgetting entirely that she wasn't alone. Then she remembered Daniel, Lily, the rain-soaked night. She stepped into the living room to find Daniel standing awkwardly by the counter, carefully pouring instant coffee into mismatched mugs. Lily sat at the table, humming softly as she colored on a napkin with a borrowed pen. "I hope this is okay," Daniel said quickly. "I didn't want to wake you, but Lily insisted we make you breakfast." He gestured to the toast, slightly burnt but earnest. Emma laughed, the sound surprising even herself. "It's perfect." Lily beamed. "Daddy burns toast all the time." Daniel sighed, betrayed. They ate together, the small kitchen suddenly feeling warmer, fuller than it ever had. Emma learned that Daniel had recently moved to the city for work. Lily's mother had passed away 2 years earlier, and since then, it had been just the two of them against the world. Emma didn't ask what kind of work he did. He didn't volunteer it. When they finished, Daniel stood and reached into his wallet. "Please let me give you something," he said, "for the trouble." Emma shook her head immediately. "No, really, just pay it forward someday." He nodded slowly, clearly moved. "I will." They left soon after, Lily hugging Emma tightly before skipping down the stairs. Daniel paused at the door. "If our paths cross again," he said, "I hope I'll have the chance to repay you properly." Emma smiled. "Take care of Lily, that's repayment enough." And just like that, they were gone. By the time Emma reached work later that morning, the memory already felt unreal, like something kind that happened in another life. She slipped into her desk just as an email notification popped up. "Mandatory company-wide meeting. Auditorium, 10 minutes." Groans echoed across the office. Emma followed the crowd, half listening to the whispers, something about a leadership change, a new CEO. She barely looked up when the man at the front of the room cleared his throat. Then her heart stopped. It was Daniel. Clean-shaven, tailored suit, confident posture. The exhaustion was gone, replaced by quiet authority. He scanned the room, and then his eyes found hers. For a fraction of a second, something human and familiar flickered across his face. "Good morning," he said smoothly. "I'm Daniel Wright. I'm honored to introduce myself as the new CEO of this company." The room erupted in applause. Emma sat frozen. Her mind replayed the night before in brutal detail. The soup, the blanket, Lily asleep on her couch. The CEO had slept on her couch. Daniel continued speaking about vision and values, but Emma barely heard a word. Her palms were damp, her chest tight. After the meeting, she tried to slip away unnoticed. "Emma." She turned slowly. Daniel stood a few feet away, his expression unreadable but soft. "Could I speak with you, briefly?" Every nerve in her body screamed panic. Of course. In his office, glass walls, city views, Daniel closed the door gently. "I didn't tell you who I was," he said first. "Not because I wanted to deceive you, but because I wanted one night where I was just a dad." Emma exhaled shakily. "I didn't help you because of who you were," she said. "I didn't know." "I know," he replied. "That's why it matters." He looked at her with something like respect, genuine, rare. "You showed kindness when you had no reason to," he continued. "And that tells me more about your character than any resume." Emma swallowed. "I just did what anyone should." "Not everyone does," Daniel said softly. The weeks that followed were strange in the best and worst ways. Daniel didn't treat Emma differently at work, no special favors, no sudden promotions. But he noticed her. He listened when she spoke in meetings. He asked questions about her ideas and actually waited for the answers. Others noticed too. Emma found herself walking taller, speaking with more confidence, not because of who Daniel was, but because he reminded her that she mattered. One evening, she received an email from him. "Dinner, not work-related, if you're comfortable." She stared at the screen for a long time before replying yes. At dinner, Lily joined them, chattering happily, clearly remembering Emma as the woman with the warm couch and burnt soup. Daniel smiled more that night than Emma had ever seen him smile at the office. "I never thanked you properly," he said as Lily focused on dessert. "That night, I was at a breaking point. You didn't just give us shelter. You reminded me that the world still has good people in it." Emma felt her throat tighten. "You don't owe me anything." "Maybe not," he said, "but I hope I get the chance to give you something anyway. Time, honesty, a place in our lives if you want it." She met his gaze, seeing not a CEO, not a powerful man, but a father who had once stood in the rain, scared for his child. "I'd like that," she said. Life didn't magically become perfect. Emma still worked hard. Daniel still carried heavy responsibilities, but something had shifted. Kindness had opened a door neither of them knew they needed.